Hi, second graders. We left off on chapter 2, and so we're going to start with chapter 3 today in Dr. Dolittle. So chapter 3 is called More Money Trouble. Soon the doctor began to make money again, and his sister, Sarah, was happy. Some of the animals who came to see him were so sick that they had to stay at the doctor's house for a week. And often, even after they got well, they did not want to go away. They liked the doctor and his house so much. And he never had the heart to refuse them when they asked if they could stay with him. So, in this way, he went on getting more and more and more pets. One evening, an organ grinder came around with a monkey on a string. The doctor saw that the monkey's collar was too tight and that he was dirty and not very happy. So he took the monkey away from the man. He gave the man a shilling and told him to go. A shilling is money. The organ grinder got awfully angry and said that he wanted to keep the monkey. But the doctor told him that if he didn't go away, he would punch him in the nose. John Dolittle was a strong man, even though he wasn't very tall. So the man went away, saying rude things, very upset, and the monkey stayed with Dr. Dolittle and had a good home. The other animals in the house called him Chi-Chi, which is a common word in monkey language meaning ginger. Another time when the circus came to Puddleby, a crocodile, I'm not excited to see where this goes, a crocodile who had a bad toothache escaped at night and came to see the doctor. The doctor talked to him in crocodile language, of course, and took him into the house and made his tooth better. Can you imagine fixing a crocodile's tooth? That would be really scary. But when the crocodile saw what a nice house it was, he, of course, wanted to stay. He asked if he could sleep in the fish pond at the bottom of the garden if he promised not to eat the fish. When the circus men came to take him back, he got so wild and crazy that the crocodile scared all of the circus men away. That's pretty cool. But to everyone in the house, he was always as gentle as a kitten. But now the old ladies grew afraid to send their little tiny lap dogs to Dr. Dolittle because of the giant crocodile. And the farmers wouldn't believe that he would not eat the lambs and the baby cows that they brought to be cured. So the doctor went to the crocodile and told him he has to go back to the circus. But the crocodile wept such big tears and begged so much just to please let him stay that the doctor didn't have the heart to turn him away. So then Sarah said, "John, you must send that creature away. Now the farmers and the old ladies are afraid to send their animals to you. Just as we are beginning to make money again, we shall be ruined entirely. This is the last straw. I will no longer be your housekeeper if you don't send away the alligator." Sarah, it isn't an alligator. It's a crocodile, said Dr. Dolittle. I don't care what you call it, said Sarah. It's a nasty thing to find under the bed. I won't have it in the house. But he promised me that he will not bite anyone. He doesn't like the circus, and I don't have the money to send him back to Africa where he comes from. He minds his own business, and really, all around, he is very well behaved. I tell you, I will not have him around, said Sarah. He eats the floor. If you don't send him away this minute, I will leave myself. So she was saying, it's either me or the crocodile. All right, said Dr. Dolittle. Go ahead. I guess I can't really change the situation. So Sarah Dolittle packed up her things and went off. And the doctor was left all alone with his giant animal family. Very soon, he was poorer than he had ever been before. With all those mouths to fill and the house to look after and no money coming in to pay the bills, things began to look very bleak. But the doctor didn't worry at all. Ugh, money is a nuisance, he would say. We'd all be much better off if it had never been invented. What does money matter so long as we're happy? I think Bubba's trying to read with us. But soon the animals themselves began to get worried. One evening, when the doctor was asleep in his chair by the fire, they began talking it over among themselves in whispers. The owl, Tutu, do you remember that, his name? Who was good at arithmetic, we know that means math, figured out that there was only enough money to last one more week, if they each had only one meal a day and no more. Then Polynesia said, I think we all ought to do the housework ourselves. At least we could do that much. After all, it is for our sakes that the old man finds himself so lonely and so poor. So it was agreed that the monkey, Chi-Chi, was to do the cooking and the mending. The dog, Jip, was to sweep the floors. Dab-Dab, the duck, was to dust and make the beds. The owl, Tutu, was to keep the accounts, so keep track of the money. And little Gub-Gub, the pig, had to do the gardening. They made Polynesia housekeeper and laundry person because she was the oldest. Of course, at first, they all found their new jobs very hard to do, all except Chi-Chi, who had hands and could do things like a person. But they soon got used to it, and they found it such fun to watch Jip sweeping his tail over the floor with a rag tied to the end of it for a broom. After a little while, they learned to do the work so well that the doctor said he had never had his house so clean before. They did a better job than Sarah. Whoops. In this way, things went along all right for a while, but without money, they could not pay all the bills. But still, the doctor wouldn't worry. When Polynesia came to the doctor and told him that the fishmonger wouldn't give them any more fish, he said, well, never mind, as long as the hens lay eggs and the cows give milk, we can have omelets and pudding. And there are plenty of vegetables left in the garden. Winter is still a long way off. But the snow came earlier than usual that year. The old horse hauled in plenty of wood from the forest outside of the town so they could have a big fire in the kitchen. Most of the vegetables in the garden were gone, and the rest were covered with snow. And many of the animals were really hungry. Wonder what's going to happen. Oh, you know what? Chapter 4 isn't super long. I'm going to keep going. So the 4th chapter is called A Message from Africa. That winter was a very cold one. One night, the animals were all sitting around the warm fire in the kitchen, listening to the doctor reading aloud. Tutu suddenly said, shh, shh, shh. What's that noise? I hear it outside. Do you remember? Owls have very good hearing. The door flew open and Chi-Chi ran in, out of breath. Doctor, he cried, I've just had a message from a cousin of mine in Africa. There's a terrible sickness among the monkeys there. They're all catching it, and they're dying. They've heard of you, and they beg you to come to Africa to stop the sickness." "Who brought the message?" asked the doctor, laying down his book. "A swallow," said Chi-Chi. "She's waiting outside." Bring her in by the fire. She must be very cold." So the swallow was brought in, all huddled and shivering. She was a little afraid at first, but soon she got warmed up and sat on the edge of the mantelpiece and began to talk. When she had finished, the doctor said, "I would gladly go to Africa, especially in this cold winter, but I'm afraid we don't have enough money to buy the tickets. Get me the money box, Chi-Chi." So the monkey climbed up and got it off the top shelf of the dresser. There was nothing in it, not a single penny. "I felt sure there was something left," said the doctor. "There was," said Tutu, "but you spent it on a rattle for the badger's baby when he was teething." "Did I? Dear me, what a nuisance money is. To be sure. Well, never mind. Perhaps I shall be able to borrow a boat that will take us to Africa. I knew a seaman once whose baby I cured of the measles. Maybe he'll lend us his boat." So early the next morning, the doctor went down to the seashore, and when he came back, he told the animals that the sailor was going to lend them the boat. Then the crocodile and Chi-Chi and Polynesia were very glad and began to sing, and because they were going back to Africa, their real home. The doctor said, "I shall only be able to take you three, Jip, Dab Dab, Gub Gub, and Tutu. The rest of the animals, like the squirrels and the water voles and the bats, you will have to go back to living in the fields. But most of them will sleep through the winter, so they really won't mind." Polynesia, who had been on long sea voyages before, began to tell the doctor all the things he would have to take on the ship. "You must have plenty of sea biscuits," said Polynesia. "Hardtack, they call it. And you must have beef in cans. And an anchor. An anchor is very important." "Okay, I expect the ship will have its own anchor," said the doctor. "Well, you better make sure," said Polynesia, "because it's very important. You can't stop if you haven't got an anchor. And you'll need a bell." "A bell? What's the bell for?" "To tell the time by." What do you mean?" "Well, you go and ring it every half hour, and then you know what time it is. And bring a whole lot of rope. You're going to need a lot. It always comes handy on voyages." Then they began to wonder where they were going to find the money to buy all the things they needed. "Oh, bother. Money again. Ugh, goodness. I'll go ask the grocer if he will wait for his money till I get back. No, I'll send the sailor to ask him. I'll do the sailor. Yeah." So the sailor went to see the grocer and came back with all the things they wanted. Then the animals packed up and closed the house and gave the key to the old horse who lived in the stable. When they had seen that there was plenty of hay in the loft to last the horse through the entire winter, they carried all of their luggage down to the seashore and got onto the boat. As soon as they were on the ship, Gub Gub asked where the beds were, because it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and he wanted his nap. He was still a baby after all. So Polynesia took the little pig downstairs into the ship and showed him the beds, set all on top of one another like bookshelves against a wall. "Why, that isn't a bed," cried Gub Gub. "That's a shelf." "Well, beds are always like that on ships," said Polynesia. "Climb up into it and go to sleep. That's what you call a bunk." "Oh, I don't think I'll go to bed yet," said Gub Gub. "I'm too excited. I want to go upstairs again and see what they're up to." "Well, this is your first trip," said Polynesia. "You will get used to life after a while." And she went back up the stairs of the ship, singing the song to herself. "I've seen the Black Sea and the Red Sea. I rounded the Isle of Wight. I discovered the Yellow River and the Orange too by night." Now Greenland drops behind again, and I sail the ocean blue. I'm tired of all these colors, Jane, so I'm coming back to you. They were just going to start on their journey when the doctor said he would have to go back and ask the sailor how to get to Africa. That might be important to know if you're going to Africa. But the swallow said she had been there many times and would show him the way. So the doctor told Chi-Chi to pull up the anchor, and the voyage began. Oh my goodness, this book is getting very interesting. We are going to start chapter 5 next time. Hope you guys have a great day.